So as you can see, we've got a very different look to this table. This is a very basic setup for a very basic scenario. This is the Commands and Colors core box with the Salamanca scenario. And I played this same scenario earlier today, and the British won. Not by much, but they won. But a couple of different ways that I've been doing this. Big surprise. So what I've done for victory purposes is count off the number of units, actually the strength of each unit, which comes to 25 for the French and 27 for the British. So as you take a strength loss, you go down one on your, I guess you could call it morale. And that morale number is equal to half of the army's strength. Why the blocks? I don't know. I don't know why the blocks. I've got all these miniatures. I've got painted miniatures. I've got thousands of them in here. I'm using blocks. I've always been a fan of this look. And again, I guess I just felt like kind of a minimalistic, basic approach. So that's what I've gone with. I even have the geometric from the Perry Miniatures Travel Battles set that I'm yet to do anything with on camera. I have the woods from that. And in fact, these are the buildings from that as well. So extremely basic, minimal. Command cards I've turned into command actions, and what I've really done, and I've done this before, is switch this into a Conflict of Heroes spent die check. With this go around, a die for each unit per side to determine the initiative. That's what's going on. Other things going on as well. I've continued down the I don't know what's called basic minimalistic road and other design approaches, which we'll get to. I've got some stuff on order to flesh that out. There's a game that I designed. I'll just grab it if I can't get to it easily. Probably 20 years ago, I designed a game that is not what you're going to think it is. It's an abstract game. And the concept is you have chits in here, and each chit corresponds to a symbol on the board, and you want to match chits that you draw from a draw pool and make your way from one end of the board to the other. That's the basic concept of it. There's caveats to it, one of them being you can turn the board 90 degrees. You can discard a chit, draw a new one, and you can only play, so say you're the player versus me. This is your friendly side of the board. You can only play from that side of the board, so hence if you wanted to put a piece anywhere above this first row, you wouldn't be able to unless there's a piece that had already been placed there. So you think of this as kind of a ladder. Pieces climb the ladder. And then we'll get to that later. I'm bombarding you with stuff. What I've done is taken this idea and expanded it into a... That's not where that goes. Give me 1 second. Taken that idea and expanded it into a kind of abstract military maneuver type game. So that's on a back burner. As mentioned, I've got pieces ordered to flesh that out and other things. So I've also got, and you can't see it, but behind that way, I can't believe I haven't filmed like, usually I film with the viewpoint from what you guys are looking at. I don't know if that makes any sense, but since I'm filming on this side of the table, I can actually see the computer screen. I'm not tripping over cords. It's brilliant. Hopefully you guys can hear me. That's the only thing that I'm not sure of. I assume you do, that you can. But anyway, off camera that way, you're not going to believe me, but I'm telling Scout's honor. There is advanced squad leader. It is the, I'll get to the game, I promise. Commando Shink is the scenario from ASL Annual 95. I've run through the beginning of that scenario twice. And why did I not finish it? Why twice? I'm trying, and it's really turned out to be a very fun, cool, tactical puzzle. We've got Germans, and when I'm done with this, maybe we'll do some of that later. It uses board 1, and you've got Germans set up probably in the center of the board, Russians on the right side. The Germans want to move in and capture this fortified building. And the first time I did it, I just tried to just rush through as the Germans as quick as possible, and I got lit up. Didn't work. So then I picked a particular side, more towards the German left, the upper part of the board, and tried to flood that section. Worked a little better, but not good enough. So third time's a charm, maybe. I had decided that I don't think I used smoke, so maybe I need to be doing that. And there's a couple other things that I think I didn't try that I'm gonna. Anyway, that's going on. Also have ASL Journal 13 and 14 on order, waiting for those, because I try and keep up with the ASL stuff and flesh that out. I think that's it. All right, enough said. It's been hotter than hell in New Orleans, with heat warnings. In fact, the building I work at the library is so old, the HVAC unit can't really keep up with cooling that building down if it's been shut off for a day or two. And when we're closed, there's nobody there. So when we reopen, it takes pretty much 24 hours for that thing to start cooling itself down. It's a huge building. So I was actually off work today because it was 92.5 degrees inside that building. So, and then I'm off tomorrow for my Juneteenth, since I'm off Mondays anyway, and my holiday is tomorrow. So I've had pretty much a 4-day weekend. So here we go. British first, as we drew a red die. Simply decide who we want to move forward. We do have some Portuguese units. I'll try and point things out as we go, because I know this probably doesn't show up the best on camera. So let's bring, sitting behind this hill is ridiculous, so let's move on top of the hill. So that would be the rifles moving up. So having done that, we need to roll to see if the rifles are spent. And we need to roll higher than 2 on this weighted die, which we do not. So they're spent. Now, to represent being spent, I move them as far forward in the hex as possible. Ones in the center hex are still fresh. Mark him. Typically, I'd mark him with a stress marker to let myself know that if I wanted to reactivate him again in a consecutive fashion, he would take a +1 spent die modifier. Draw another die here. British again. So he's spent, so it doesn't really matter. Let's roll with this. Now this is a light infantry unit, which is also going to be higher than a 2, or he's spent. He did get higher than a 2. Now we will mark him with a stress marker. Draw another die. There's French in here somewhere, I promise. There's one. Look and make sure. It seems awful strange. There's no point in moving into these woods. It just slows you down. And I guess there's cover there, but let's bring these guys up. I'm also paying attention to formation, so line and column. You can't move unless you're in column. So that's a line unit. He'll need to roll higher than a 3, which he does. Mark him with a stress marker. Well, these stress markers also let you know who you just activated if you have amnesia like I do. Typically be just a straight back and forth thing, but I've added this dice bag here. So French again. So now this French again, I can activate him again. I would need a, what did I just say? 3. It should have been a 1 or less. I'm looking at the action cost for fighting. So it would be 2. I would need higher than a 2 for him because he's typically 1. So that's my mistake. All right, let's go with this. So higher than a 1, yes. Draw a die. Nothing in range yet. French again. Him up. Higher than a 1, yes. Once they are spent, you can't do anything with them until everybody is spent or either or both players pass, and that's the end of the turn. Back to the British. Let's put him up here. The leader's attached, so he'll move with. That's just regular line infantry, 1 or higher. Yes, he's fine. Back to the French. We'll go with him and move him up. 1 or higher on that guy. Yes. And it's 1 hex at a time here. 1 hex per 1 action. Except for cavalry, you can move 2 X's at a time. French again. Let's move this light infantry up here. Right there. Now that should be also higher than a 1. Can you do that? Yes, you can. Again, it's a weighted die. It has 2 1s on here, etc. So it's not your normal 10-sided die. It's from the Conflict of Heroes game set. It's a cool little system, which is why I've hijacked it for this. British. We'll move him up. And I forgot about the hill, so that's actually going to be higher than a 2, which he got anyway. I didn't do that for that guy. Lots of French stuff going on. We'll move him up to a hill. He'll need to get higher than a 2. He does. And British. Let's move him. Actually, everybody started in column, so I'm going to do a formation change on him, put him in line, so I can use the full force of his fire attack. That's simply going to be higher than a 1, which he got, and then draw a die. I think that's Portuguese light infantry right there. French again. So, for instance, cavalry here, 1, 2. And he's also, just higher than a 1 and he's good. And he is good. I'm going to do the same thing with this guy. Formation change. Shut up, he's spent. I got the change. But he's now spent. Again, we push those units as far forward in the hex as possible to represent being spent. And keep in theme with our minimal display here. I guess you could put that there, but it doesn't matter because he's done anyway. And brush again. Let's move these guys up here with the leader. And that'll simply be higher than a 1. Yes. Brush again. Formation change here. Need to be higher than a 1. It's fine. French. Do we have anybody we can fire? Well, no. We want to put him in line. He's good to go. I think I'd like to miniaturize a version of this. Everything you see here, but miniature, just to do it. I don't know. Now we got some British, and we're going to try and fire with this guy here. Now, firing is, as you might expect, different as far as your action cost. So, light infantry, he's going to need to roll higher than a 2, which he does not. So, after this shot, he's spent. And that is Portuguese light infantry firing uphill. Light infantry is going to be 4, drops to 3, so 3 dice. And we got 2 flags and a hit, so there's 1. We knocked that off of there. Make our 25 morale go down to 24. Neither flag can be ignored. I don't have a leader. I don't have support. Now I have support, so I can ignore that second flag. And can't move if you're in line, so that will automatically put them back in column. And there's that. Also have a tentative rule in here about morale, break test if you retreat. Do we want to work that in? We did retreat. Why not? 7 or less with 2 dice, for God's sakes. No, he didn't do it, so he's broken. So they'll have to rally and spend an action to do that. If we use that to represent being broken. British. Move him up 1. And that's going to be roll higher than a 1. Yes. British again. Put him up here. It's going to be higher than a 2. Yep. British again. Let's move him up here. I need to roll higher than a 1. He does not. Spent. French. I guess if we just continue to sit on each other's respective hills, nothing's going to happen. So, fine, I'll move up. He's fine. French again. Let's move him here. Higher than a 1, yes, he's fine. British. Let's formation change here into line, which we do successfully. French. Put him into the woods. That's going to be higher than a 2 now. He's fine. British again. Formation change here. It'll be higher than 1, then a 1, and he's fine. French. Formation change. Take that back. Let's move up here. Oop, he's good to go. French again. Let's do likewise here. He's fine. We got left in here with 2 British. He's going to fire. That is light infantry firing higher than a 2. He does. Oh, Lord, this could be bad. All right, so British light infantry, that's going to be 6 dice. Think we'll survive this? I doubt it. We got a 4. Now he's firing. Which technically in commands and colors you're not supposed to do. I'm going to go ahead and do it. So 4 doesn't count. 4 doesn't count. 5s won't count. We got 2 hits on him though. Chuck those off. Drop that from a 24 to a 22. Final die of the bag is British, of course. And that means this guy here will fire. That's going to be higher than a 3, and he spent line infantry. Why am I rolling that? Higher than a 3. He does get higher than a 3. Full strength line infantry in line. And that's 4 dice. We get flag, 2 hits. Took those 2 off. Now we're down to 20. You see how quickly our morale is dropping as the French. Well, we get 1 flag, which we have to pull back. So that didn't work out as good as I thought it would. No units have been lost. Whole complete units have been lost yet, so all the dice go back in the bag. Had somebody been knocked out, we would subtract 1 die from the respective side. All this back in here. Put these up here because I don't like them where they were. And just keep rolling. Quite literally. That brings us to the French again. I'm doing this. Higher than a 1. Yes. British. What is it? 6 dice here on this light infantry. This is terrible. Yep, 6 and higher than a 2 and he's spent. Or he's not spent. Yeah, he's fine. So here we go, 6 dice. One hit of all those 6. We got lucky there. Now we're down to 19. Two flags, so he'll go back 1, 2. Wait, it's this guy. 1, 2. And I think that's that. Since he retreated, we have to do the morale check thing, right? 7 or less. He's fine. Otherwise, he would have broken. Okay, so now we draw another die. French, I would love to attack him in melee, but well, you know, why not? So he's stressed. We'll add 1 to that. So his attack cost for line higher than a 3. Now it's going to be higher than a 4. Go figure, he's spent. But we get to resolve this melee attack. French do well in melee against other infantry. So that is moving, standing, melee. Thank you. Good. 5 drops to 4 for the hill, so 4 dice. 2 hits. And finally there, morale drops down from a 27 to a 25. What else happened? That's it. They will battle back, which is automatic. This is a rifles unit. I don't think they do too good in melee, do they? Plus he was in column. This doesn't matter. Rifles. Yeah, they're gonna roll 1 die and no saber hits. And the cost is going to be higher than a 2, or he's already spent, so it's just 1 die. No saber hits, and he did get a hit. So now we're down to 18 as the French. Morale-wise versus 25 for the British. Give me this, please, even though he's already spent. French. Let's put this artillery up here. What is his action cost for moving? That is foot artillery. We need higher than a 3. We get higher than a 3. British. Nope. French. Again. Let's unnumber this. Higher than a 3. Yes. British. He's going to fire some regular line infantry. He'll need higher than a 3, which he does. And firing here, line infantry, that's going to be 5 dice. And there's 2 more morale points gone. Now we're dropped from 18 to 16. And we lose one of these dice out of the bag when it comes time to reload, because that unit's gone. British still have whopping 25 morale factor. So British again. Oh, my back hurts all the time, every day, all day. Move him up here. That was a simple move, so it should just be higher than a 1, which he gets. French again. The last time I did this, it did not work out well, so I'm going to go ahead and formation change and fire instead of rushing him in melee. Formation change higher than a 1. He does not get it, for God's sakes. He got spent on a formation change. Switching the line, wore him out. Somebody needs to practice some drills after this game. All right, British again. I guess these guys are stuck waiting because they're in line and you can't move in line. Line. This guy can move up. And he will. Higher than a 1? No, he's spent. Interesting. French. Pull him up on the hill. Now he'll need to roll higher than a 2, which he does barely. Or he would have been spent. Puts him in range, firing range of that unit now. Ye old British. Let's pull. No, let's do this. Pull him up forward here. Higher than a 1. Can he do it? Yes. This is similar-ish to how it played out when I played it earlier today. British again, so let's pull this artillery unit up, and that's going to be how much for artillery? I think 3, 2, I don't know. For artillery, yes, I'm going to have to roll higher than a 3 on him for that, or he's spent. I did not. He's spent on that maneuver. British again. What do we want to do? Let's pull him up more here. Simply we'll need a 2 or higher. He's good to go. We have any French left? Yes, there's a French there. That allows us to move him up. Higher than a 1, yes. I feel like this is very quick and fluid, and I guess that's a good thing. French formation change here. Higher than a 1? You bet your ass. British again. Let's move him here. Well, they can move 2, but I don't want to. And for him, that is, I forget. That's just 2+, which he does get. He's fine. British again. I want to do the same with this guy right here. 2+, and he's fine. He's good to go. French. Let's fire with this artillery that's now unlimbered. There's foot artillery, 1, 2, 3 hex range. I don't think there's an uphill modifier for artillery. No, there's not. I think it's going to be a 3 action cost. I hate iPads. Let's see. No. I might have to roll 5+ on him or he's spent. I didn't think I'd get that. It's very easy for artillery to spend itself out. So 1, 2, 3 hex range. French foot artillery, full strength, is 2 dice. Not very good odds. This guy here. We got nothing. Did get a flag, but it's ignored because he has an attached commander. British again. Let's pull him up too for his action and see if he's spent. He'll need a 2+. Weighted die, which he gets. French. Let's fire with him as he's in line now. That's just going to be 4 dice to here. Spin check should be 4+ on him, which he does not get. So he's spent after this shot. But he gets the shot, so 4 dice. 1 stinking hit, 1 flag. The flag can be ignored. The hit cannot. Drops his morale down from a 25 to a 24. There's nothing compared to the French 16 morale. French again. Let's go ahead and try and rally him. That is 6+. Pass or fail, it's going to be 6+. He's spent either way. So now let's see if he can roll his 7 or less, which he does. Good on him. British. Formation change here. Not sure why I haven't yet, but now I will. That's simply 2+, which he gets. British again. All right, let's go ahead and do something with this cavalry. British cavalry. 1, 2. Oh, this is going to suck if he gets spent after that. 2+. Yeah, he's good. British again. Let's go ahead and factor in the stress marker and go ahead and attack that unit there. Cavalry attacking. I'll need a 4+ or he's spent after this attack. Hey, got it. I'll be done. I'm going to attack him here. He's going to form square. I actually have enough folks to represent a square. A rarity. He hasn't taken any losses yet. So there's our square. Square will fight first with 1 die. It's automatic. You don't have to roll anything for that. He gets nothing. And then the cavalry unit battles back with 1 die. That is also part of his attack. So he gets nothing either. So nothing happening there. French again. Now this guy, in theory, can attack this cavalry unit that's attacking him. That is going to be for light infantry attacking. 3+ or he's spent. He's good to go. And on that attack, light infantry and melee is 4 dice. And we're going to want 3s, 5s, and 6s here. We got 1 hit on this guy. Drops his overall morale down to 23. He'll battle back. You know, as I'm playing this, I noticed things like that wouldn't happen. That couldn't happen. There's two things just now that I think honestly, realistically, but I understand. It's a game. It's not a simulation. I mean, he just attacked, forced him into square, and now the rules allow him to battle back against this guy. I'm doing it, but it just seems like a stretch of the imagination. Also, the fact that this light infantry is allowed to attack cavalry to begin with seems like a stretch to me. But the rules allow it. So he'll battle back with 2 dice and get 1 hit. Further dropping the French morale down now to 15. Versus the British 23. All right, so we have dice left, yes. There's a die there, French. Keeping him there. Let's unnumber this. That is... I don't have these printed out yet. They're on the computer, so I typed them up. So I took pictures with the iPad. He'll need a 5+. Man, that's brutal. He does not get it. Brutal, brutal, brutal. But he does get to fire. Let's go ahead and fire. No. That's a waste. Now think about this strategically speaking. You think, oh, he only has 1 strength block left. We knock him out. The odds of knocking that block out are great, but we're going to have 1, 2, 3 range for artillery, full strength, 2 dice, and that one of those dice, technically, in my opinion, is wasted. Whereas if we get 2 hits here, we're going to knock out 2 of them. Where you're only allowed a max of 1 here, so you're going to fire here. Does that make sense? Doesn't matter anyway because I got crap. So forget that. What's left? 2 dice. British. Put him on a hill. That's going to be 3+, or he's spent. He's spent. No, 3+. He rolled a 3, so he's good. And British. Let's put him right here. 2+. Yes. All right, that's the end of that round. Dice back in the bag. We push on. Digging. Oh, we need to, no we don't. I think everybody's become, we're still playing technically the first turn because we haven't passed as either side or run out of people to conduct actions with. So there's a British. I think I'm about ready to, though. No, let's go ahead and do some more here. Cavalry attacking. These guys will force them into square. Again, I don't know how this is physically possible, but we're going to allow for it. I like conformity, so we'll use these now. So both look similar. Let's cavalry attack. I'll need a 4+ on that deal. He gets it. So 1 die on them is nothing. 1 die for him. And he gets a flag. You can't move in square, so they lose a strength point. Now they're down from 15 to 14. Frenchies. You know, if I can... Now he's spent, damn it. I'm about ready to pass as the French here. Let's go with this. 2+. It's good to go. 1 die. Oh, we got a hit. I'll be danged. To dang me. 23 to 22. But he'll come back with 1 die of his own. And get a hit, of course. 14 now to 13. Chipping away. What do we got here? British. Let's make things interesting. 1, 2. 2+. No, he's spent. Look at that. He was going to do stuff. No, I can't. Poor bastard. British. Let's pull him up. 2+. Or is he spent 2? No, he's good. Oh, British again. According to my calculations, this guy's not spent. And he's going to fire. Infantry firing uphill. Any problem with that? Yes. It's going to be -1. We got to figure out what his spent check is for line infantry. He'll need a 4+ on that deal. He did not get it, so he's spent after this. I feel like he should have already been spent. Whatever. Firing uphill, Portuguese. I believe that's Portuguese. Line infantry, 3 strength. Is 3 dice, drops to 2 dice because of the hill. Still gets a hit off. Little bastard. There. Now we're down to a dozen. Here's our dirty dozen morale left. 12. French. Do I have anything that I want to deal with the French? I've got this cavalry unit here. Cavalry unit here. 1, 2. Let's do that. Wow, how exciting. Not spent. Actually, that would have been 2+, 3+, but I got it anyway. And the British. Of course the British. Always the British. I'm very close to chucking this in. He wasn't the last one to do. He was. That means he does not have a stress marker. Watch this. 3+. Yeah, he's good. I'll be darned. Let's see if the French. They won't be able to do anything anyway. Fire here. Attack there, rather. That is going to be 3+. Line, 3+. No, 4+, I'm sorry. He gets it. 1 die. Got a flag that can be ignored. He battles back. A die of his own and gets nothing either. British, and I don't care if I'm spent or not. I'm doing this. That's going to be 3+. Since I'm spent, it'll be. I'm sorry. That will be actually higher than a 3. So 5+. Does not get it as expected, but that's fine. Right into there. They'll only be able to battle back half strength because they're in line formation, not column. He gets to battle at full strength because he's in column. That is Portuguese full strength. That's 4 dice. That's pretty good. There's a hit and a flag. I'll take that hit. And drop to 11 now. The flag. Well, guess what? That can be ignored because he has support, so cool. I was going to say he's going to have to lose another strength point because he's in line trying to move backwards. That's not going to happen. British again. Is there anything else that we want to do? I mean, even if I moved him up, what's the point? Well, let's resolve this guy here. Cavalry. I'll need a 4+ on that guy. He spent for sure. He rolled a 1. It's just as well. 1 die. He gets a hit. Now they're down to 10. Then there were 10 morale points, dropping like flies. He battles back with 1 die of his own and gets nothing. So one thing I didn't mention, and you may notice, the insignia on these blocks are not the unit strengths, which is what they were intended to be used for in the game that I stole them from. Great game, by the way. That allows me to differentiate unit type. So 1 infantry symbol lets me know it's line. 2 infantry symbols lets me know it's light infantry. These 3 guys that are also kind of a stylized infantry symbol let me know that's rifles. 2 cavalry symbols lets me know it's heavy cavalry, and 1 cavalry symbol lets me know it's light cavalry, because I still use the Commands and Colors Napoleonic's combat system for this. Are we passing now, for God's sakes? Is there anything anybody else? Speak now, forever hold your peace. Now, I could change formation, move up, probably should. There's a British die, go figure. Let's go into column here. 2+, yes. I think British again. Same here. 2+. He did get it. He rolled a 2 though. It was close. Right there. And French. Do I want to do anything with the French? Let's go here. Light infantry. See, there should probably be a modifier too as I'm doing this. On your spin check, if you're in square, there's all kinds of things you can do here. He'll need a 3+. He gets it. Throws 1 die at him. Gets nothing. He battles back with 1 die. Of course he gets a hit. Of course. Now he's down to 9. I think I'm going to pass as a French from here on out. I've got other things I want to do, and I'm getting whittled away. So I'm passing. I don't care what dice are drawn. I'm passing as a French. That leaves the British until they decide to pass or become spent. So now that he's in column, he can move up, and he's not going to be spent after doing so. What's he going to do? Neither is he spent. We'll leave him there. Formation change here. Still not spent. Formation change here. And he's not spent either. Fire here. This should spend him. So that's going to be 4+. He doesn't get it. So yeah, he's spent now. But he's going to throw 4, drops to 3 for the hill. 3 dice at this guy. Gets 1 hit. And now we're down to 8. What do the British have? The British have 22. Their morale's 22. Wow. This guy here is going to fire 4+. Yes. Firing. So facing is also incorporated in here. He's outside of my. So I've got artillery. Let's fire at this cavalry unit here. It's going to be 3 dice for the hill. Out of the pool. We got 1 hit. Which is, never ends, does it? Drops to 7. Please let him become spent at some point. Now he's going to need 5+ because he's stressed. He's still got it. 3 more dice. 4, a 3, and a 5 means nothing. And he's not spent, and now I'm thinking I should do something, even though I said I was going to pass. You know what I'm going to do? I'm passing as both players. I'm going to reset. So everybody becomes fresh again. Benefits both sides. Nobody gets a distinct advantage from doing this. And I just may have saved the French from getting immediately wiped out. I think I'm just prolonging the inevitable. Everybody goes back to the center to represent being fresh. The center of the hex. Spatially utilize your surroundings. You don't need markers for everything. You don't need a marker to represent a state that is commonly used. You don't need markers to represent things when you can move to the front of the hex, the center of the hex, the rear of the hex. And it just keeps things looking clean and inviting. It's the Martha Stewart approach to wargaming. All right, everybody's back. Everybody's set. I don't think I lost any more units, so not that blue one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What is this here for? Oh. We're good now. Well, it's looking like British are going to pull this off just fine. Like I said, when I played this earlier today, the British also won, but they really won. They didn't do as well as they did this time. They did good, but... All right, so the French right off the bat, what can we do? Fire with this artillery, for God's sakes. And he's probably going to be spent for doing so. Because we'll need a 5+ on this weighted die. We got it. How many? That stunned me. Are you serious? Yeah. Yeah. We got it. Okay, so he's not spent. Awesome. That's amazing. I can't believe it. Full strength, 2 hex range. That's 3 dice. Coming in here. Almost had 2 hits, but it rolled on to a 6. So 6 is ignored because they have an attached commander, but that does get me 1 hit. Drops him to 21. Big freaking deal. But at least he's not spent. That's crazy. Never seen anything like it. British. He's gonna fire back. He'll need a 4+. He does not get a 4+. Ah! He's already spent 3 dice. No, 4 dice. I'll be damned. We got a 6 and a 6. 2 does not hit. The 4 is. So there's another damn hit. French morale now down to 6. We got 2 6s. 1 can be ignored, 1 cannot. And I always say unlimbered artillery doesn't retreat too very good. So there's another casualty. Drops it down to 5. Who's next? Gee, I wonder if the British are going to win. 21 morale, the French 5. It's French again. What's something quick and deadly I can do here? I need a 4+, which I got, so I'm getting what I want. 4 dice going in here. Give me hits. I got no freaking hits. I got 3 flags, 2 of which can be ignored. 1 cannot. He's in line, though. So there's a casualty. He's not moving backwards in line. That's for damn sure. So now we're down to 20. British still got this. Y'all still got this. And go look. It's the British. Let's do a melee attack here. 4+. He gets it. That is Portuguese. That's 4 dice coming in here. 2 more hits. In fact, he's gone. We're going to lose a French die again. And this drops to a 3. French now will whop him, and they have to take that ground. No need to roll for anything to do that. It's automatic. I don't know why I'm still playing this. It's definitely British victory. British die. What else is there that I can do? Why don't we fire here? 2 dice. 4+. Yes. 2 dice. If I told you they got a hit, would you believe me? Well, they did. It's another hit. Now they're down to 2. It's ridiculous. British have a morale of 20 and the French have a morale of 2. I don't understand. British again, we got rifles that are fresh. How convenient for the British. A 1 strength rifles unit. There's 2 dice, but we need to see if he's spent. 3+. Oh, he spent. How about that? 2 dice. And of course, 1's a hit. Now he's down to 1 as the French. 1 morale strength left. What a mess. To the British 20. British. Oops. What's left that's easy that I can do? right here. Why do I have 3 dice? 4 plus? No. Would be 4, but they're firing uphill. 3 dice right here. We're gonna end it all, and they did not. They got nothing. Can you believe that? We got 1 more morale point to knock out. French. Well, let's fire back. How about that? Through 3, 4 plus. Spent. Big surprise. 3 dice coming in here. 1 hit and a flag. Flag can be ignored. Hit cannot. 20 drops to 19. Are the British worried? Not at all. Not in the least. He's spent anyway. British die, yep. This is almost over, folks. Let's do it this way. Heavy cavalry. Attacking a square. We'll need a 4 plus, or he's spent. Yeah, you got it. He's not spent. So, 1 die. These guys first. Got nothing. 1 die. Ah! I thought he'd get it. He didn't. French hanging on by a thread. In fact, it's the French again, right here. 4 plus, no, spent. That's going to be 3 dice, drops to 2 because of the hill. 2 hits, boom, gone out of here. Drops to 18. Doesn't really matter. I don't think he'll have to take ground. Who's next? French again. Getting my hopes up unrealistically. Let's fire here. What is it? I'll need a 5 plus. God, that's brutal. That's so harsh. I may have to adjust that. 1, 2, 3. Foot artillery. 2 dice. Give me something here. How about nothing? How about you get nothing? 3 and a 4. You know what you can do with that 3 and a 4? You know what? It's just no point in going on. They've got 1 morale strength point left. I'm not going to come back and lower that British 18 morale and do anything. Let's do a time check because I'm always curious as to how long these variants last that I do. We've got, I talked for at least a good 10 minutes before we even got started. So this is roughly an hour. An hour. And it's nothing perfect, but it's fun, and that's all that matters. And pretty to look at if you're into minimalistic weirdness like I am. So there's that. Do I want to do anything else? I'm going to take a break and kill this, and we're going to come back and look at some of this squad leader stuff. I'm all over the place. I won't last as long as this, but let's at least take a look at it. So again, I don't want these feeds to be on the same recording. So I'll come back.